Warning: the following video contains explicit language, which may be offensive to some viewers or inappropriate for children. The content within this video is intended for mature audiences only.
Hello and welcome back. We're diving into the world of Hunter S. Thompson, Kingdom of Fear. I hope everyone enjoys this. I've noticed that some of the sound, sometimes the sound is wonky, so I've been trying to play with the the volume controls on the computer settings and the OBS settings, so hopefully we'll get it figured out at some point. So, without further ado, let's skidoo.
Genius, all over the world, stands hand in hand, and one shock of recognition runs the whole circle round.
Yeah, it gets kind of weird sometimes, especially when you're going back 30 seconds on the from, we have that 30-second overlap and you're not real sure what's going on.
Herman Melville said that, and I have found it to be true. But
Well, there's a lot of things that, Herman Melville, Jack London, Hunter S. Thompson, Robert Heinlein, Philip K. Dick, all those, there's a lot, authors seem to have like this insight into things that a lot of what they say and what they experience holds out true.
didn't really know what it felt like until I started feeling those shocks myself, which always gave me a rush. So perhaps we can look at some of my work, or all of it.
Looking at all of Hunter S. Thompson's work would be a mammoth undertaking at the minimum.
On some days, as genetically governed by my frustrated musical failures, which led to an overweening sublimation of my essentially musical instincts that surely haunt me just as...
The thing is his lyrics are in the form of prose, and his music is the rhythm of the reader. So
clearly as they dominate my lyrics. The new dumb.
Oh, yeah, at the time of this, the new dumb, I guess now they'd be the middle-aged dumb. There's no telling.
Something is happening here, but you don't know what it is. Do you, Mr. Jones?
No, I don't.
A quote from Bob Dylan. No, sir, not a chance. Mr. Jones does not even pretend to know what's happening in America right now, and neither does anyone else.
And that still holds true to today.
We have seen weird times in this country before, but the year 2000 is beginning to look super weird. This time, there really is nobody flying the plane.
It'd been nice if Hunter S. Thompson would have still been here in 2016, and better yet, 2024. Him and George Carlin.
We are living in dangerously weird times now. Smart...
And they just got weirder from 2000 forward.
People just shrug and admit they're dazed and confused.
And yeah. That is most people, most days.
The only ones left with any confidence at all are the new dumb. It is the beginning of the end of our world as we knew it.
And the thing is I have to agree with that. The 20th century ended, and that world ended, and a new, stranger, weirder world was born in the 21st century. So yeah, Yeah, it is weird. And it's continually getting weirder. The older I get, the weirder things become. And why did this lock up again?
Doom is the operative ethic. The autumn months are never calm in America.
Yeah, this is bothering me being locked up like this. So let's go ahead and stop and see what's going on. Okay, we're back. Don't know why it locked up. I don't know how long it was locked up before I noticed it, because there's sometimes that it will glitch. I will see a glitch where it'll lock up for a couple seconds on my little window on the OBS. Then it will break free, and when I go back and when I'm editing, I can go, oh, okay. But it's smooth in the editing, so sometimes I will try and go and let it do its thing.
Back to work, back to school, back to football practice, etc. Autumn is a very traditional period.
And in the South, the autumn always means high school football and the hijinks and crime that accompanies that wonderful little mess that, of a tradition we have in Texas and in the South. I think it's more violent in the South than it is in Texas, but we have our moments.
A time of strong rituals and the celebrating of strange annual holidays like Halloween and Satanism and the fateful harvest moon, which can have ominous implications for some people. Autumn is always a time of fear and greed and hoarding for the winter coming on.
And, if you go back to pre-industrial times, that was kind of needed. You stored up your meat and your grains and stuff for the wintertime. And now we don't have to, but people do. They hoard up, except they're hoarding up money and being obscenely, morbidly rich.
Debt collectors are active on old people and fleece the weak and helpless. They want...
That's not only debt collectors. Remember, you got the IRS.
to lay in enough cash to weather the known horrors of January and February.
Actually, I would throw December in there too, because December sucks.
There's always a rash of kidnappings and abductions of school children in the football months. Preteens of both sexes are traditionally seized and grabbed off the streets.
And actually, yeah, Texas has a big thing about that. It got so bad about 4 or 5 years ago that there was like public service announcements and all kinds of crazy stuff. Actually, it's probably longer than that. About 10 years ago, maybe. Maybe early 2010s. Yeah.
By gangs of organized perverts who traditionally give them as Christmas gifts to each other as personal sex slaves and playthings.
Huh. Sounds like he did meet Gates and Vance.
Most of these things are obviously wrong and evil and ugly, but at least they are traditional.
Yeah, that's the thing about America. If it's traditional, regardless of how evil it is, we'll still do it.
It will happen. Your driveway will ice up, your furnace will explode, and you will be rammed in traffic by an uninsured driver in a stolen car.
The first two in Texas, maybe. The third one, most definitely.
But what the hell? That is why we have insurance, eh? And the inevitability of those nightmares is what makes them so reassuring. Life will go on for good or ill.
You know, that's kind of a pessimistic way to look at it, but it is. I mean, it's valid. So, we'll go ahead and call this good here. just because with the lockup and all that is going to throw a bunch of extra editing in for me. So, as always, be a good human, be good to other humans. Peace.
Hey, it's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are?